Hey guys, and welcome back to my world. Now, I was in a conversation with Jesper and Ease, and we were discussing how to actually detect what block a player is standing on. Now, there's some quite crazy contraptions out there that kind of, handle this situation, and I've kind of just want to throw my hat in the ring as well. Now, it's quite useful to actually detect if a player is on a particular block, because you can do kind of various cool things. Now, we're just using a sponge, or I'm just using a sponge for this example, but it can be any block at all. So as you can see, I'm in survival. Okay, and if I jump, I've got a low jump, I've got no jump boost at all. So if I'm now going to run over the sponge, okay, and then you'll see, woo, I now have a very big jump boost. And again, yeah. Okay, cool. So normally this will work in a multiplayer environment. Okay, so normally would be relatively simple to do. You'll just do a full replace and replace this sponge with a sponge of a different damage value, and then just take the comparator output and then be able to detect if that player is on the block. However, in a multiplayer environment, that won't work because you'll need one command block for every single player. Every single player will need a unique number that you assign to them, blah 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 blah. Okay, but not with this little contraption. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm actually replacing the sponge. So if I walk closer, you'll see I'm actually replacing it with cactus. Now, the reason I'm using cactus is if I do a set block cactus, so let me just do a set block cactus. Oh, it's right behind me. Okay, that is what happens. That's absolutely fine. But the moment there is a block next to it, okay, you will see, well, that was very quick because it did what it was supposed to do. It will actually then break the cactus and it'll actually drop an item. So because if I do a fill command and fill this with a cactus, it won't actually drop the item because the fill replace command does not drop items. It just completely replaces the item without dropping a block, without dropping an item. And what we want that item to drop. So I'm placing a cactus. The cactus then actually breaks, it actually drops an item, and then once we have that item, we can now do anything at all we want. So let me just go into creative. Okay, and let's have a look at the command. Okay, so here we go. First off, I'm going to do an execute at any entity. Now you can do it any player, any entity. You can define it as well by saying any entity that is a player, any entity that has a specific item in their inventory, etc, etc, etc. Okay, but I'm just doing a blank at entity. I'm going to be executing a full command one block below them. So not this block here, but the one block below me. I'm going to execute a fill command, and I'm going to be looking for sponge, and I'm going to be replacing that sponge with a cactus. Okay, and if it finds a sponge, it'll replace it with cactus. That cactus, because it is now surrounded by another block, it will actually break and drop an item. So it'll drop a cactus item. So the next thing we want to do is we then want to execute another command at any entity. Okay, I should actually specify that this is the player, but we're going to be executing another command. We're going to be scoreboard players set at entity type equals item. Okay, now I'm going to be giving this item a scoreboard number, so just bear with me here. So at entity type equals item, that's within a 10 block radius of any player. Okay, I'm going to be giving them a objective score or objective block that I created, which is just a dummy objective. I'm going to give them a score of 1, but only if they are an item. So it's a dropped item that is a Minecraft cactus. So if any other item that's within a 10 block radius of a player will not get the one added. Now, it doesn't have to be 10 blocks. It can actually be less. I was just playing with it and making sure it actually works, but it can be 1 block, actually no, but 2 blocks should be fine. So it'll then give this item that's on the ground, it'll then give a score of 1 for block. Then I can do various things. Okay, so now I can execute at any item that has a score block of at least 1. First off, I'm going to TP them. I'm going to TP the entity that is not an item 0.7 blocks up. Now, you do not need to do this. It's just something that I've been playing with. Okay, so I can teleport. And I can also then do, once again, execute at that item that has a block objective score of at least 1, I can then give a jump boost effect to any player in a radius of 6 for 5 seconds as a jump boost of 20. So this is why I can jump so high. Okay. Once that is done, so I can run a number of commands. So you see I've running 2 commands here, but it doesn't just have to be 2 commands. It can be 3, 4, 5. It can do anything you want. Okay, anything that you can do with an execute, you can now do. Then what we're going to be doing is we're going to put that sponge back. So we're going to execute at, once again, at any item that has a score of block minimum 1. I'm going to be doing a set block inside that item sponge. So it just puts the sponge back. And then last but not least, I just kill any items that has a score of 1. This all happens within 1 game tick. Okay, so you can see it. If I just jump on here again, you'll see that happening over and over and over and over and over. Now the reason I'm just jumping up and down is because of the 0.7 blocks I'm teleporting the player up. But now you'll see if I do jump now, let me just do this. Whoop, up. This will now just give me a massive jump boost. Okay, cool. That's it. Now it doesn't have to be sponge. It can be anything. So for example, this brick over here, this is actually a monster egg. Now I'm going to be using this a lot more in different versions and different ways, and I'll show you guys how it all works. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will check you all later.